Hi again. Today is day 4, part 4, of me learning and building my agent, my first ever agent in public. I almost failed today. I wasn't really sure what I'll be doing in this session. So, and why did it happen? Why was it like this? After my last live broadcast, the previous one, the part 3, I was a little confused. I was not sure how did it go. Not So I did not even market it well. I did not share it with the relevant groups or people or my public networks. So what happened there is that I wasn't sure where this is going, what was happening, what was the outcome, what is that someone can learn from that. So I fed that video to Gemini. I think it understands YouTube well. So what did I do? I sent it to Google Gemini and I asked, analyze the video for a beginner and tell me the areas of improvement. So I'll share my screen, right? That's me. That's my process of learning. That's my process of exposing myself. So before I jump into that, of course, I want to start with why. Start with why. I think I would always do that. So it helps me stay grounded. This is my method of marketing myself. This is my method of showcasing my abilities, my methods, and my services. So I'll start with my services. Hmm. I'll start with my services. I'll share my screen where I'll be talking about my services. Agent readiness design services. So, who are my target audience? This content is technically for the beginners to learn the basics as well as marketing my services for the industry. So, yes, who's it for? It is for those who have not actually started using Agentforce yet, who are not sure if they are ready for this, right? So what I'm offering is my services to help you get ready, for the Agentforce because I'm still learning the basics. Also because technology, the Agentforce is the maybe the last part before you're ready, right? So before the getting readiness, what is that? We need to actually test, right? So what is that we are talking about? Let me scroll down. Yeah, what we are talking about is we need very clear processes in your organization. That's the core part of things you want to do. Core part of using agents, right? Because if the processes in your organization are not really clear, agents are not really going to be helpful, right? The data pipelines are messy. You're not going to be able to use Agentforce. Maybe it is going to uh, hurt badly. If all the tools your organization are using, are not talking to each other, are not integrated well. So, if these are the problems you are working on, and you understand a bit that you need to work on it, I can work as a consultant, as a friend, as a partner, as someone who can help you to get things ready for the Agentforce. Right? In short, I'll keep it short. I want to be very specific, so I'll be helping you to understand the clarity of the mapping of your workflows, the process. Right, the process is the core part. So I recently came across this science paper which says process is all you need. And wow, attention is all you need, which came with the core of everything, that is the transformers. That was long time ago, but of course not everybody knows about it yet. So attention is all you need, of course. So this session is also because I want to time box my processes and discipline. And of course, I want to shoot beyond my comfort zone. I almost failed in my previous session. I'll explain why. But process is all we need, of course. So, and do we really understand the statement? Process is all we need. I mean, be it winning a match, be it training for a world class competition, be it building a software, be it training yourself for the strength, be it anything, be it anything. Process is all we need, right? Be it is very basic thing like a law of nature, and that's me. I think I understand that, and it's difficult to maybe set it up, maybe actually execute it if the culture is not ready, if the culture has not been set up. So to be an agent ready, you need to set up your processes very clearly. So I will help you to diagnose your issues. I'll be able to call spade a spade because I'm an outsider, right? Uh, I don't have to be afraid of your internal bureaucracy. Okay, that's me. So I'll keep it right there. If that's someone like me, if you are looking for someone like me, or if you think someone like me can help you, I can be bold, I can be stupid, I can be maybe smart. I can ask you hundreds of questions. Some of them can be stupid, and I accept that. And this activity, I hope it proves that. So that was about my services. So I'll jump into the analysis mode, talking about why, right? Uh, I'll share my screen from Gemini, and this is my screen. Okay, so I said, could you transcribe the video, critically analyze it for quality, mistakes, content for the beginner, give me a crisp list of issues, qualities of the protagonist, and how should I highlight my qualities? Also, that was important part. Right? So I was a little fed up when I looked at this list of issues in my own previous video, previous content. I was like, oh, it hurts. But that's the point. That's the point. That is about this is why I'm trying to do this, right? And I know how to iterate. That's my skill. That's my ability to accept the failure and take it inside and push myself out. So I'll share my mistakes in my previous content. Okay, it says structure was not there. So yes, I accept that. I was not really ready. I'm not really ready for this session. Also, it's like I am ready to jump off a cliff. I'm not ready to maybe know if I will land or not. But I do have the tools to get it done, right? So I can iterate on the way. I can uh, I can find my mistakes. So the title of this video I started with, "Don't be stupid." I should have said it before. I want to highlight that part. I want to be very about it. Don't be stupid. So I think I made a lot of stupid mistakes in that, and I want to work on that. I want to be very specific. I want to take it inside. It's like, yeah, I get it. So too much behind the scene. That's not necessarily a mistake. That's the part of me. That's a necessary part for me to be able to connect with the audience. Topic jumping, I can understand that if my pitch is not structured well. Okay, unclear agent demonstration. Yes, I did not actually demonstrate it. I was saying yes, this is my dummy agent. I'm not going to get into the details. Over reliance on ChatGPT. I did not rely much on that because I was trying to ask the questions like what exactly this means. So talking about learning part, right? In technical glitches, yeah, I make mistakes. I'm okay with that. So it also gave me areas of improvement. It said be concise and the agenda, prioritize visuals to be very specific, explanatory. I think that means that streamline narrative, ensure personal anecdotes directly relate to the technical topics. Dude, if you are listening, if you're still listening, 10 minutes into the session, you need. I hope you will be able to gel with my vibe. What I understand that I need to be able to spread a vibe which people are able to vibe with, dedicate beginner walkthroughs. So yeah, beginners, you need to take it up slow. I will take it slow. I'm not actually going jumping hoops here. So I will be asking very stupid, slow questions from learning. So from next session onwards, we'll get into the details of specific learning. I'll be more prepared. Prepare demos, controlled AI use, okay, interactive QA, okay. I don't have much audience yet. So it said, so I think I should also talk about my qualities, which I want to talk about in these sessions, right? Vulnerability and authenticity. That's the core part of me. That's me. I am okay to be very vulnerable and authentic. Persistence and growth mindset. That's me. That's a very core part of me. Structured planning. I am doing that, and I'm iterating and I'm proceeding into the depth. So I understand the details are required. I understand the depth is required, and I'm getting there slowly. Why I'm doing it publicly. That's a part of it, right? Deep dive into core concepts. Yes, I will get into that. Empathy for the beginners. Hello, friends. I understand it is difficult to start, and difficult to learn, but you need to be able to persist. You need find ways to push yourself. Marketing and business acumen discussion about funnels. So yes, that's the we are talking about the strengths. Yes, am I understand the basics of marketing and business acumen. I've not really done marketing well before. I've not really done business well much into depth and on scale before. But I know this is the part of me. This is how I'm marketing myself. And what is that I'm marketing? Right? I'm marketing my processes of iterations of processes of building processes. I'm talking about uh, that only. That's my marketing part. That's me marketing to the universe. It's like if I'm already assuming if thousands of people are going to watch this video, right? Majority needs to be able to vibe, and of course the audience, right? Who's going to watch this? Who is it going to be relevant for? It's going to be mostly relevant for the beginners and those who might be running into the kind of problems I want to help my clients solve. So, and let's see how my clients find me soon. Huh? I'll talk about my lead generation also. So this funnel has already generated 2 leads. How do I highlight my qualities? Okay, I'm not jumping into those details, but it says I should talk about my learning journeys. It says I should segment my content. It says strategic business insights. Yes, I will be sharing those insights very clearly when I have more insights, and encourage engagement. Yeah, so that's about it. Okay, so what I'll be doing in this session is I'll be building structure for my next sessions. Mhm. Okay, um, and I want to do it live, interactively with the tools I have. Mhm. What next? So, as I said, I'm not ready. I'll share my Notion page from here. Da, 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 da. Really, baby. Should I? But okay, I'll share a poem which I wrote after the last session finished at about after 12 midnight. Huh? So it was fun writing a poem midnight, like just I was not really able to sleep. It was just getting it was ready to get out of my head. And of course, no AI has been used in that writing that poem, right? So I'll jump into talking about my document. Share this document, some things. So, so this was actually I started writing the previous session on 27th. Okay, but I finished on 28th and I am working on 29th. So I'm rewriting my previous. So if you watch my previous video, it would be saying 7th June. Hi, that's my script, right? I am writing my story. I'll be in my way. Okay. I'm rewriting the history. Okay. going to talk about how we'll name this session. This session will be named as Build Better Structures, and that's how we build processes, right? We should be able to learn to build processes from scratch, right? We may have to scrap some. We may have to start from very. Okay. Uh, so what I'm doing is that I'm going to build a structure which we'll be using from onward from here. I'll be copying the title for this video. How do I do this? Can we do this? Can we do it from here? Yeah, I think I can do it. Okay. So while I'm doing it live, I don't know if I could have. Wait a second. So another mistake I made in my previous session was the lightning was little odd. I think what did I do this time is that I added a light source in front of me. It's hitting in my eyes, but I think it's okay. Okay, what next? What else? Wait a second. Another mistake I made in my previous session, I think, is the voice, and I'm about to hit a place an order for mic, which should be arriving soon, which may not arrive like before the next session. But of course, the decision is very important part, right? And I'm living in a small town. I don't think I can get it very quickly. That is the part of the process. The decision has been taken. And how long we are into the session today? Wait a second. We are into the session about 17 minutes. So there's not much, has not been much to learn for the beginners, but the vulnerability, the what do we have? Vulnerability, and I'll use the specific word from my feedback. Yeah, authenticity. That's the very important part for being able to build content and talk on like live stream like this. Another reason I'm doing it live is that I'm not really interested in doing a lot of hard work, recording the video, then editing it, then publishing it. So I'm optimizing my processes by just doing it live. Okay, and that's also being authentic. But yes, that's the yeah, that's the video. So I'll remove this output from here and I'll add one when I think we can do it from here also. So copy. Oh, the script. Yeah. What did we just have from here? Bookmark. So building Notion documents, structured Notion documents like a doc. So what about document? It's like it follows a structure that everybody can understand. The previous day, the next day, there has to be a structure that is followed, right? That's what I'm talking about. That's my skill that I'm talking about. So I'm not going to use this script. Maybe from here I'll just remove it. What else do we have here, right? So I'll now be building a structure for the next, actually a template. So what we are going to do is build a template for the future. So it's like the real part of having a skill to build processes and agents. It's like building a template. You need to understand the template. Should I talk about the definition of a template? And talking about a skill to build a template, right? Like what I'm saying is that still take it slow. There's no hurry. You need to be able to slowly move into the right direction. Course correct as soon as possible. It's like slow is smooth, smooth is fast, right? Uh, so the poem I'm going to talk about right after this session is um, build the structures you want to see in the world. That's the recent thought that I had today in my mind. That's not the poem I wrote. So the poem is I'm actually interested in talking about that, and I understand I'm jumping to topics from here and there. It says if leverage comes from content, and content gives you authority. That's the first line of my poem. Okay. So yeah, that's the content. That's the authority I want to emphasize in the universe, and that's me. That's the pure part of me. So there's no other me. That's the pure. That's the confident me who says that I can help you get ready for the agents. I've not never built an agent before. I have like on scale, right? I built my dummy agent, but of course, I there's a lot to learn. The Salesforce ecosystem is huge. It can tell us to learn, but like who's my target audience? And that's the part of the funnel I'm optimizing for. Should I talk about funnels also? That's my skill, of course. Yes, I understand skills funnels because I'll talk about it. I've been thinking about funnels since about 2 years, very clearly 2 years. And my I have a very deep core inside. What is that? Insight in my head that every conversation is a funnel. That's the very clear part to understand because why not? Um, when a conversation starts, there are possibilities. There's a best possible case. There's a worst possible case, right? The conversation goes and helps, like being useful to both the parties. What else? The worst case scenario, both parties end up fighting and not being not even actually thinking about coming back ever, right? Worst case scenario. And the journal is like, yeah, it's okay. What you did was okay. What I did was okay. And let's go back and maybe do whatever we were doing. That's okay, right? The general part, the best case scenario, the worst case scenario, and we optimize for the best case scenario, right? That's how the leverage works. Do I really understand leverage? This is my skill, and I'm leveraging it. Leverage. I recently also read something about leverage, but of course, I'm not into depth. Keep drinking water, folks. Water is the water is a very necessary part of life. Dara. Okay. So this is my commitment to actually do it very regularly every day. I should have also said it at the very beginning of the session. So I'm going to build a template. So I'm going to write it as say it as template. So I'm going to add a toggle. Okay. Can we full screen from here at 11? Also find some way to like actually write mode, like no disturbance mode. Is there any mode which we can use on this Notion page? Duplicate? No. Full way. No. Oh, it should be in the center yet. No. I'm not really able to find something very specific right now. Okay. So let's build a template. Yay, we are building structures. And that's how we learn. That's how we actually build processes, right? That's how we help ourselves, help the processes we are building, and ease our own mind, right? That's my skill. That's why I'm building this template. Okay. And like what? Now, what is it that I want to build, right? What is the this is going to be very difficult part because I am going to be the following this template from now on, but iterating on the top of it. So let's try to use maybe something from the past. Is there something we can use? We can use the video title part at least. Yeah, because it also tells us like what is that it is going to be talking about. What is that we are going to be talking about? So video title part hash. Um, the title should express the intent. So my today's video title is "Let's not be stupid," and I was stupid. I understand that I made a mistake. Okay, let's not be stupid. That was should that be a title for every next session? Okay, Yes, that will be the video title for every video. Okay, let me try to use that. Now, let's not be stupid. Understand. Okay, I'll add it into. I'll break the title into parts. Let's try to do it like this. I'll convert that into a toggle also because it helps. Okay, what are we doing from here? Video title part hash. That is the part of the content, right? So we move it on here. And we move it. It's a better structure, right? Yeah, I can fold it. Ta-da. And of course, it's not going to be like entertaining. So if you are looking for entertainment, it's nothing. And what I understand that how people are going to use these videos maybe is that they are going to transcribe the content and see how it see what I'm doing. that's the that's the that's the best part. That's how you can maybe optimize, right? Let's not be stupid. Understand like the mistakes from previous sessions. Okay, I'll do put it into brackets. Understand the mistakes from previous sessions and improve the process template. Okay, methods, and of course I should be more prepared for these sessions. So from next time onwards, I will be learning before actually coming live. I'll be learning the the code, like what is that someone can learn from me. Of course, I can teach a lot to the beginners, right? There's a lot that can be learned from everywhere, right? Methods, etc. Okay, okay. Let's not be stupid. That's the part one, and express the topic of learning for the beginners. Oh, and that's all right. That's all. That that should be the part of the that should be the part of the title. Okay, let's keep it short. Okay, what next? After video title, I am going to have preparations to be done before the session, right? Learn to teach very carefully. I also learned something for today, and I'll talk about it. But in the end, you can jump to that if you want. Okay, the session has been quite long. I don't want to bore some people. If you're boring, if like assuming if there are going to be hundreds of audience, right? So learn to teach very carefully before the session. Okay. What else? What mistake I should, or what is that I can take from uh, the feedback, the from Gemini, right? So it says lack of structure. It says topic jumping. It says unclear demonstration. It says overreliance on jeopardy. Okay, technical glitches. That's all. So these are the two things I found. Um, what did I do today that I should be able to use? Okay, I'll add few things. Mhm. We are building a structure, right? So the template of the session is I think a very different part. So how the session should go. That's also the great necessary part of the session, right? Should I feed it to Gemini and ask for the structure of the session? Let's see. Okay, let's use AI. to build systems, build structures. That's also kind of a skill because iterations. Having a skill to iterate is also a skill, right? Having a confidence to iterate on things from scratch is a skill. Having a conversation with artificial intelligence is a skill. Having a conversation because having a what does it mean to have a conversation? It means to iterate. It means to ask questions. It means to be able to focus on things, right? That's my skill. That's what I'm talking about on live camera. Okay, so I'm going to feed. Ask Jenny, right? Okay, let's build a structure for. Oh, I'm going to make. So my keyboard is a little broken. Oh, STRUCT. So my typing is also going to be a little messed up. Let's build a structure for the next session. I am doing it. Alright. I'm doing it live, and you are the part of my live broadcast as a co-host. Uh, Actually, I used to do it with the ChatGPT. What I used to do was I used to live broadcast, actually live record, but I was with ChatGPT because most of my learning and content creation and iterations and asking questions and building structures has been into ChatGPT. It understands me more than I think any other AI. Yeah, because of course I do things with ChatGPT. So today I'm doing it with the. I think I should jump to ChatGPT itself. Let's what do we call it? Ditch Gemini. Uh, although the ChatGPT doesn't know my areas of improvement, I guess. So I'm not really confused. I am going to take that step. I'm going to feed these issues to ChatGPT also. It says so when I asked Gemini, it said it sounds great to build a plan. Okay, focus on creating clear, engaging, beginner-friendly experience. It's okay. Session goal: publish your first basic algorithm. So that's the template. So my prompt was not really like yeah deep prompt, but I can iterate on top of it. So writing, I could have spent too much time on writing the prompt also, right? It says, welcome the agenda, you, me, kick off the session, welcome everyone. That's the right session. That's the right structure of live session. Briefly about me, clearly present a concise agenda for the next hour. Quickly recap and why agents matter. Okay. Core build, designing, publishing a simple agent. Oh, is this talking about? Okay, let's now a structure for the next session. I think my question was of course wrong. So I understand the mistake now. Well, change my question now. Like, let's build a structure. Let's build a template. I would simply call it a template for the general live session. And okay, you are the part. That's not important. Let's build a template for the general live session. And what else? This is my these are my initial, or maybe I should not be doing it live because this is has been 35 minutes into live session. Okay. Okay. Video title, express the topic. Why did I write session there? Let me check into, oh, yes. So I'll copy the data from here also. What I'm saying is that the session should start with you, kick off the session, welcome everyone, who's interested in the news. No, I'll write my points. Where where am I? Okay, the session should include. So I'll restructure from things from here. This should be the part before the session, right? Okay, let's not be stupid. Express the session. What do we do in the session? Let's do it fast. So now this is the part of where I'm thinking. I think I should be slow. And when I'm typing, it's also thinking. Uh, this session is going to be long. Okay, and I'm saying the word okay many times. Is that like too much? Okay. Oh no. Okay. Using help from Gemini to understand my mistakes was also kind of necessary because it's almost difficult to watch yourself, like observe yourself and find your own mistakes. I was not really able to find. I was like, yes, there are too many areas of improvement, but I could not see through it. So I needed a third eye, and I used Gemini to understand my issues. Now I understand that I need better templates, better structure, better deliverability, better intent, clarity, thoughts for the audience, for myself to build better confidence, of course. I don't know if I had to go on a stage with 100 people, I would have gone like this. Uh, Today, there's no audience, and of course, it's not going to be like this forever, right? So, what are we going to do in the session? Is like, okay, I'm going to start with intent. Express the intent for the target audience. Okay, and that will I need to be more careful. Right? Two types of target audience I'm talking about here. What kind of target audience? One, organizations which can use my services. Okay, and beginners who can learn a thing or two me. Right. So I need to be very specific, very careful. Right. Express the intent to the target audience. Express the intent. So this is the part of me, like actually marketing my things, right? And that's how you market your things, folks. Hello, beginners. Okay. Uh, what next should we do in the session? What should be an ideal session? So I think the learning should be the core part of things, but I should be able to build up. I should be able to build something from it. So I'll start with a message, a learning, or maybe an insight or a recent update in the industry. Yes, have a recent update or express or explain a recent update in the Salesforce ecosystem for the not news, or it can be any feature. So I should be able to crisply explain something. Um, then there's a recap required from previous. Yes, so mistakes. I should be talking about my previous mistakes. Uh, not understand. Reflect on the previous mistakes. This is a part of iterations, right? And iterate to not repeat those mistakes. What else? What else? I think the major part of the session should be learning for the beginners. So I'll add it to my template. What is that I'm doing right now? Okay. Block at least 25 minutes for the learning for the beginners. I need to be very specific. Okay. What next? Uh, Conclude. So I'll keep it short. I'll use some help from AI. Conclude with learnings. Okay, let's keep it. Not jump too much. What else? What else do I have in my document? Nothing yet. Nothing yet. I'll change my prompt from here and update my query. Submit. So what? Let's see how the Gemini can help. It feels good when we look at the thinking, right? Do we really? Is that the right method of thinking? Do we have an illusion of thinking? Create the live session template. I'm now focusing on developing a basic structure for a live session, expanding session preparation, defining session structure. I'm now defining the template to include specific elements for each session stage. The focus remains on making the beginner friendly. Okay. Okay, what do we have? Oh, it's too deep. My God. So I'm not going to read through that right now. I'm going to copy that, use it, and not jumping into ChatGPT also right now. Wow. Okay. So it is detailed. Some of it may be crap, and we as a beginner as a AI agent, I'm a human using an agent. So I understand that. I'm not getting to that right now. I also not copy all of it to my document. Okay. So for the learning, so what is that we should be learning about our core thing? What is that we started with? What is that we were learning in the previous session, right? What are instructions? So let's talk about instructions for next 10 minutes and wrap it up. So the learning part is there in the end, and that's very important part. So what are the instructions? So let me talk to the camera for some time. What are the instructions? What is an instruction? Do we understand the term instruction? What is the definition of the term instruction? That's how we talk about first principles, right? Let me ask the definition of the term instruction to ChatGPT. Where is my friend ChatGPT? I read it. Hello, buddy. Where are we right now? Ta-da. Oh, did I see that page also? What is that page and what is that page? Uh, Dear ChatGPT, where are you? Oh, did I shut my page? Yes, I closed the window. So, instructions. Instruction is like a how do I simplify the term instruction for agents? Right? The nuance behind instruction is that for each thing, there are many instructions applicable, like even in a real life. Okay? So I had a chat with ChatGPT, and I'm going to share that screen now. Please, in a moment. Okay. Should I mute it? Ready? 44. Right. So let's say I'm going to explain it with an example so that it becomes simplest for understanding. If somebody has been able to stick to this, or maybe jumps to this session, or maybe I'll be able to share tips from here. So, instructions. Let's take an example from the game Mario, right? Again, games are easy to understand. Games you can relate with. Game is that most people play video game, right? The Mario. I hope you have played that game sometime in your life. So when what happens in in any moment when there's an instruction, when there's an event, let's say there's a devil or an or enemy on the screen, like next there's a something that might eat or kill that Mario protagonist, right? What are the instructions that need to be taken care of to take care of the situation, right? When the player is playing, some of it they are doing it themselves, some of the instructions are being taken care by the system. And okay, I'll share my screen because I've chosen a lot of examples from ChatGPT. It will help us. I need to share my screen. Where's my? Oh, where's my? Yeah. I don't know why it doesn't use the sound from that sort of. Let's see. Situation. So when the Goomba, the enemy, comes up, now what kind of instructions can come up is that what are kind of things we need to check out. Right? So let's forget the term instructions. We need to check if the enemy is big or small, if there's a pit behind it, if he's running or standing, can we avoid it or we must attack it, right? We need to, like, these are the things we need to care about, right? So what happens is that these are the instructions that kicking in that particular moment when there's an enemy or there's a pit or there's a something that can kill the Mario, right? So a lot of things are happening in parallel. User says, I need help finding. Oh, that's it has jumped into my particular case. So every time Mario sees a enemy, the game is checking: Am I running? Power up or down? What's behind me? Hmm? Should I talk about this? That's no. Okay, not get into that. I will not get into the things what I'm envisioning to build. For example, just to simplify this, what happens is that in simplest instructions, agent faces user input, right? Uh, okay, I'm not really prepared to teach right now. Greet the user. So what happens when the conversation starts, or there was another part here? I'll just find it out. I will just find it out. I will just find it out. Or I should not. Even the transcription of the session is going to be like this part, right? The teaching session is part is going to be sad. If you reach a coin, collect it. If you see a Goomba, jump it. If you fall in a lava, restart the checkpoint. Ta-da! There's not much to learn from here, I guess. Okay, about instructions. So of course, I need to prepare to teach from now on, and that's the part of you know, iterations. Not be stupid. Let's not be stupid. I shouldn't be stupid, but you should not wait for the time when you're ready. I was not ready for today. I had some thoughts, and I came up with that. Hmm? So should I maybe wrap it up with my poem I wrote and some news from the industry? Of course, it has been 49 minutes. I will wrap it up. Okay, my poem I wrote right after my previous session. Why did I do that? Because I knew that it is going to be difficult from that session onwards. That session was odd. I did not feel confident after actually building it. So I I would never um invest, like if I had $1 million today, I would not invest any penny into marketing that video anyway. It's raw, it's vulnerable, it's authentic me. That is not incomplete for someone to learn from, right? If someone comes across that video and gets the gist, I'm lucky. But today, this session is going to be like, yes, there has been improvement from what mistakes I made. So yes, I'm not being stupid. I am carefully, taking that step to be not stupid. So this is the poem, and I did not use AI to write it out. I did not actually write any sentence, word into this poem, and I want to read it out loud because that's me. That's the authentic me. That's the vulnerable me. So let me like breathe in and read it out. If leverage comes from content, if content gives you authority, if imagination defines your perspective, if perspective define your limits. I read it wrong, but I read the right. So I'll restart from scratch because this is the part of me that wants to get out in the on the internet, on the in the universe, like the vibrations I want to expand with, right? Let me start from scratch. Yes, I wrote this name of the poem with the help of AI. I fed the poem to ChatGPT and I asked for a few, titles, and of course I designed this image with the help of AI. And I gave it a matrix theme because I know the matrix. I believe in the matrix. I saw that movie long time ago, and I believe in it. I know there's a loop. Matrix is broken, and it needs to be dig deeper. And there's a neo. There's a what is that? Someone who's going to help you there. And there's a machine that needs to be fought like hard. And of course there are agents. So there were agents in the ChatGPT, sorry, matrix also, right? So let me breathe and start again. So what I will take it slow, being myself. If leverage comes from content, if leverage comes from content, and content gives you authority, if imagination gives you perspective and perspective defines your limits, if opinions, processes, and methods are all that matter, if should I start from scratch again? It's not like vibing. Okay, I'll start from scratch. I wrote this poem and no, I'll start from scratch again. That's how I record my reels. This is not a reel, but I want to do it like I can take this part out from this video one more time, for the new content. Okay, so I wrote this poem after delivering my previous session. I know I made a lot of mistakes in that, and I knew that it is going to be difficult to continue from here. So I had to internalize why I'm doing it, right? So this poem was like dying to get out of me at about 1 a.m. in the morning. Like it was all midnight. I finished that session about 12:30 p.m. Like midnight, p.m. after midnight. And I I actually wanted to write these words, tell it to myself, like tell myself that yeah, this is what I why I'm doing it, right? So this poem went out, and I wanted to give it a name, and I asked for some names from ChatGPT. Yeah, this is what came up with. I chose, and designed this image also to suit the scene. Why this? Because I believe in matrix, right? From patterns to possibilities to prophecy. Hi. So this is my poem. This is how it goes. And these are the things I vibe with. If leverage comes from content, if content gives you authority, Again, made a mistake. I'll start again. If leverage comes from content and content gives you authority, if imagination defines your perspective, and wait, should I start again?